So you go from engineer to CEO. Can you walk me through how the choices you've made, that the journey you've taken to get to that path?
Sure. I don't think there was ever a moment where I just wanted to be CEO. If I look back in my career, I've always, again, been focused on trying to solve really practical problems. I love being in the code. I love designing product, and I love walking that entire thing. Like, how is the customer going to be interacting with this? What is the benefit they're going to get? Thinking about latency times, the amount of code, the performance that's necessary, how much compute do I have available to me, how much memory is there? But there's this recurring theme. I think it goes back even before my career started. As an athlete, being pretty young and competing pretty intensely, you get used to stress and you start embracing it, and then eventually learn how to use it to your advantage. And I love team sports. Just weirdly ended up in swimming and being good at it, but I love team sports because I love the camaraderie. I love how the relationships you build when you're in the trenches with someone. And when in high school, when we were playing, things like cricket or basketball or football, things always got elevated, and competition usually sometimes bring out the worst in people. People start fighting within the team itself, and that wasn't really moving us along. And I somehow always ended up being the person being like, "Hey guys, let's talk about this. Let's come together. Let's calm down and find a way through this, and we can solve this as a team, and we can go and win." That always came back. I was the person that got thrust in front. I was like, Jay's gonna handle it.
Yeah.
But even when Lemurian started and previous startups, I wanted to go and find somebody who had been in the role before, who could do the better job, and then I could go do the engineering. And I was a little bit shocked in that most of the people that I ended up talking to were more interested in the title than the responsibility. And eventually I came to the realization that it has to be me, because no one will care about Lemurian and its mission and building the culture the right way as much as I do. So Satya Nadella says that there's two kinds of CEOs, parents and babysitters. A parent is somebody who nurtures the company and its people and grows it. A babysitter is somebody who looks after things to keep them as they are to the minimum possible change. Right? In an early day of a startup, you need a parent, somebody who's actually going to be there, who cares enough, who's going to put all of themselves into it to ensure the maximum degree of success. And you have to embrace the fact that people come into these places for each other, not for a policy. You don't need those kinds of formalisms early on. So you have to create norms that get teams aligned on expectations. You can't just implement tools and strategies to create flexibility and connection, like artificially. It doesn't have to be an either or kind of thing either, but you have to find the right balance. And that only comes from a place of true caring, only when you're truly invested. And I don't think at the early days, anyone but a founder could do that. And I've had this measure of a great leader that I try and hold myself to. It's bring clarity, generate energy, solve constraint problems, and foster culture. And I think as long as you do that well, the company should be in a good shape. And the rest kind of takes care of itself, hopefully.